Right. Hello and welcome back to the Game Bet Match podcast. I'm your host, Manny Friedman, along with my co-host.
Brad Sloan,
Back in the house,
back in
baby.
the house, baby. Long
Been
time.
a long
It's been
time.
like 6 weeks. It's been too long. We're really gonna make a bet, try to make a better effort next year. I think we were actually, it's so funny. Like in previous years, we were doing a better job on the podcast and probably not as good a job on the written stuff on social media and on SharpCircle. I
Yeah,
think we've done a better job this year on the written and on putting our thoughts on matches in, especially when we have chances like just random tennis stuff. I feel like we kind of slipped on the podcasting piece.
we have. We have. I mean, next
Like the
year,
GBM podcast has become like less of a podcast and more of like just a Twitter account.
definitely. But I mean, next year, I feel like we're gonna have an account of AC odds with Smooth, and we're gonna make sure we're on top of that. And I feel like we're gonna do some Ace the Odd pods with Smooth. We'll kind of market it like that.
Yeah.
Um, I think weekly recaps of shorter pods, maybe, like 45 minutes to an hour,
Yeah.
right? Because it's
And
just,
maybe trying to jump on to even like midweek and talk about some stuff, just for like,
yeah.
just to make things easier and shorter.
Maybe also some solo pods we could do if like we both,
Yeah.
if like we can't collaborate, like
Yep.
since we're busy. It's been really hard just to honestly get everything up with the pharmacy. It's super busy, and I'm sure you're busy with work and life in general. So it's not easy, but we love this. So it's
Yeah.
gonna make
Yeah. Yeah.
so. All right. So without further ado, I think let's get right into it. We have a bunch to recap since we haven't potted in about 6 weeks. So um, we'll start with Shanghai. I think we have to start with Valentin Vacherot and Rinderknech, the two cousins making the final there. I mean, it was a great story, to be honest. It was one of the better stories in tennis. That we've seen for a while. This is not a 250. This is a 2 week Masters with, I don't think Alcaraz played, but Sinner definitely did. Djokovic played, and these guys beat Djokovic and Medvedev in the semifinals. So it's not like they had cakewalk draws to meet. They beat some serious guys. Um,
No, I mean, I'm looking back. Vachereau beat, I mean, look, these are the players he beat. He beat Bublik, Makach. Makach was a retirement, to be fair. Makach really, that almost doesn't count because he's been so bad. Like, he basically gave up like
yeah,
halfway through the season. Honestly, the US Open match was pathetic, and then everything post US Open was
yeah,
even more pathetic.
it was.
But he beat Bublik, Griekspoor, Holger, Djokovic, and then his cousin in the final. Like, that's a really impressive run. I
Yeah,
mean, that's up there with the most impressive runs that like Sinner and Alcaraz had during the year, to be honest.
I agree. I
Probably
agree.
more impressive. Like, I mean, Bublik's a top 20 guy. Griekspoor is a top 40 guy, even a struggling-ish Griekspoor, which honestly it started to play better by that point anyways. Rune is a top 20 guy. Like, I mean, those are great wins. I think it's pretty amazing. So you got to tip your cap to him. And I don't love the idea of like docking the rest of the tour for this. Like, I don't love Bublik's take, like, oh, how do we let Vaccaro like make the like you gotta hand it to him. It's not like he had like a cakewalk draw or like I don't know. I don't like yeah, I don't know. I think like tip your cap to him.
I tend to agree. And he came back from sets down versus Rune, Griekspoor, and Bublik, and beat Djokovic in straight sets too. And I don't think Djokovic played his greatest match, and I think he was slightly fatigued from what he faced earlier in the week. But watching the highlights of that match, Vasher really took it to Novak. Like he didn't give him anything. It was a very
Well, I mean,
impressive
here's the thing
performance.
too, right? Like even post Shanghai, lost a tough match to Fritz in Basel, and
Yeah,
then he made
quarters
the
in Paris.
quarterfinals in Paris. Like
He's backed it up.
that's really good. Do I think he's a top 10 player? No. But like
Yeah,
he's definitely a pro, man. Like
no
he's gonna
doubt.
get a full year to prove it, and I think he'll be able to prove that like I don't think his ranking will slip too much. I think throughout the year he'll be able to get his points back from Shanghai. He'll be able to like because he'll have the whole year to basically defend those points, right? I don't think he'll be able to defend the Shanghai points, but I think he'll be able to get enough points across the year to like basically defend. Like
Offset
that would be my
them
guess that he'll what?
to offset the Shanghai
Yeah,
coming
yeah.
off. I mean,
Plus, the other piece to think about is this with him. Like he's probably going to be like not decided yet, but he'll probably be seated at the Australian Open. I don't see how he wouldn't be because it's not like he's going to defend. He's not going to like lose. He's not going to lose points he's defending, right? So it's just upside. And then like his ranking should really climb throughout the year because he has almost nothing to defend except Shanghai, which isn't until October. So like he should get better and better draws
I'm a
too.
little bit worried about health with him because I don't think he's encountered playing a full season on the tour yet, and the rigors of the tour are something that needs to get used to. I mean, we've seen with these new guys, like we're going to be talking about Kaboli a little bit later. Like Tabilo had, those problems where like, traveling for a full year on the tour. It's just your body has to be trained for that, and I don't know. I think he's going to burn out at some point. When is a question, but I see him fading out at some point. Like I think betting wise, you have to be careful with him still. It's he's kind of tough to read.
I think his tennis may fade, but I think he's going to be in such a much better place from a ranking perspective, right? Like because he'll, like I said, he'll be he'll be getting into basically any tournament he wants now, and as his ranking climbs, which it naturally will, he's only able to win in a match occasionally here and there. It'll still climb because he's not defending anything. Like he'll get good draws. He should be seated in
True.
most of the 250s he enters. Like I mean, we've seen like these 250 fields, especially now with the 2 week Masters. These 250 fields, like you've got guys in their 70, some of these weaker 250s, you've got guys ranked in the 70s and 80s getting seeds.
True. True. Yeah.
Like, especially when there's three and now sometimes four smaller tournaments in a week. Like, I mean, it's amazing, man, to see like what the new calendar looks like for tennis. 'Cause I think I don't like it, and I'm also not thrilled about the Masters coming to Saudi in I don't know when I can't remember if it's next year or the year after, but I don't think that's good either. Like they're kicking five more 500s and 250s out to put in the 1 week Saudi Masters.
What are they taking out?
I don't know if it's decided yet, but they're taking out five tournaments. I think it's like five smaller tournaments. So yeah, it's just like
Yeah, that's just I don't know. Like yeah, that stinks. I like these 250 weeks, and you're just not giving chances to lower guys, right? Like that's why this story is also so amazing. Is that like the tour is taking away chances from lower ranked guys, and these guys rose to the occasion and stole the show at the Masters 1000, right? That's what's so
although
incredible.
ironically, like I guess it's weird because like it's both ways, right? Like yes, the tour is doing that, like from 500s and 250s because they're removing 500s and 250s. But the masters are expanded. So I guess like that's but it's tough because like now these guys have to like go into these masters with tough draws. And like in order to get like, in order to like get serious points, they have to like beat top players.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know.
And credit to
I
Vacherot
really
for doing that. I mean, I was most impressed by the Novak win to win that 3 and 4 because with Novak, even if he's like not playing great, he has so many layers to his game, right? We even saw today versus Musetti. Like, if he's down, he's gonna tactically adjust and try to figure out a way to claw back. And he's usually able to do that because the player can't respond to that adjustment. And Vachereau took care of it. I mean, it was amazing. It really was.
yeah, I yeah, I yeah, I think he's been, kudos to and like I said, I think also like kudos to coming back and making the Paris quarters. Like that showed me actually more than winning the Shanghai tournament.
I tend to agree. I mean, I guess we could transition to his cousin Rinderknech because I mean he's been good for the better part of 5 months now, right? Like he's been
Yeah.
he's been really
Yep.
good. And
Yep.
I thought he was for since from July to October, he probably was the most undervalued guy on tour. I can't tell you how many times I backed him at plus 200, plus 220, plus 240, and he came through for me. Or back him to win a set at a good price, and he would come through. I think in Shanghai I backed him like 3 or 4 times at big plus money odds. And it felt like the market wasn't adjusting until Paris. Like in Paris, I felt like that's when the market kind of adjusted appropriately.
Yeah, I'm trying to look at something a second. So, because I agree with you, at least that's how it feels. And I'm trying to count up his record against the spread since Wimbledon. Because I feel like it's after Wimbledon is when he really picked it up.
Well, at Wimbledon, he beats
So,
Zverev.
what?
He beats Zverev at Wimbledon. And then he beat Shelton, I think, in Queens. So like he was good during the grass.
Yeah, you're right. I think, yeah, probably post
He
Roland
played
Garros. All right,
center
I'll give you
tough.
that.
He played center tough at the French.
Um,
Tougher than most. I mean,
one set. I mean,
that's
I guess
tough. That is that. Who else does that to center? No one.
yeah. All right, since that match, when he covered, and he did cover the 9.5 against Sinner.
Yeah.
Since that match, he is 22 and 17 against the spread. So not like as amazing as I would have thought, to be honest.
Okay. But looking at the quality of the wins, right? I mean the loss to Gallardo in Toronto was obviously bad, but Cincinnati was a good event. Beating Borges and Rude, and I mean then he fatigued against FAA. Lost to Hamad in Winston-Salem, but then made the fourth round of the U.S. Open, beating Fokina as a big dog, Bonsai, and then playing Alcaraz pretty tough. Then he took Demonor to a third set breaker. I remember he was like plus 500 in that match, which was a complete misprice in Beijing.
He seems to have done well against better guys, like kind of true
Yes.
to Rinderknecht's career. Like he seems to play up against better guys because he does have a loss to Goffin, a bad loss to Goffin, a close win against Goffin, which I think great. Like he's got
Yeah.
the Galarno loss. He had a loss to Pissarro and Gastad. So like I don't know, and he's had a bunch of like matches that are like way closer. Like even Wimbledon, he beat Zverev, but then he went 5 sets with Christian Garin. So
Right.
like I feel like it'd be interesting to see like what his and I'm not gonna look it up right now, but like what is his record as like a big dog? Because like I feel like and there's a lot of guys on the tour that are like this at this point, but I think his game kind of lends him to be more of a dog or pass kind of guy.
But not really. He's
Like he
not
seems to
really an
play top
erratic kind
guys.
of guy, right? He's an aggressive-minded player, but he's not. It kind of puzzles me why he would struggle against guys like Goffin and Gallardo, right? Or Garin.
Oh, because his backhand is still a
It
problem.
is.
He's not great in longer rallies. Like he's got issues.
He's got issues, but then why does it play up against top guys? Because those would
Well,
seemingly
because if he's
seemingly
making balls, like it's because your expectation is lower, right? Like like if he's making balls, he's going to do well. Like he's a very hard player to play against, I think. Because like if he's hitting the serve and the forehand well, what are you going to do? When he comes in well and he volleys decent, like if he's playing well, what are you going to do? And if he's missing, then you don't have to do anything.
I guess. I mean, I'm looking at his Shanghai wins. I actually think to some extent it's even more impressive than some of Vacherot's wins. Zverev, Lechka, FAA, and Medvedev. Back to back to back to back.
Yeah, no, no doubt. Like no doubt. Like he's done really well against better players, but then straight set loss to Altmaier and Metz, and probably he'd packed it up for the year, but still not great.
Hmm.
Two losses to his cousin. We talked about the golf fan stuff, like, and those are probably his last. Like those are barely beat Marajan in Paris. Like those are all. That's basically all of his matches against guys his level or like below, and they're not. The results aren't so great. So like it really is like
Yeah. Yeah, maybe it's a true dog or pass. Maybe I got to start looking at like because he's definitely not going to be a big dog against those guys anymore, and he's going to be a huge favorite against the Go fans of the world, right, going forward. I think the market has adjusted.
yeah.
Um, that being said, if you compare Rinderknech and Vachereau, who do you think is ranked higher at the end of 2026? Like who has more upside? Because I actually think I, I think Rinderknecht's serve is slightly better. I think his forehand is better slightly, but I think where Vachereau has him is the backhand. The backhand, that's a massive discrepancy between the two guys, whereas the serve and the forehand is not as big of a discrepancy. So that's why I think Vachereau matches up well against his cousin because Rinderknecht has a shot like one of the three pillars of tennis that can break down at any moment, whereas Vachereau is more steady on that wing. Um, I also think Vachereau is a slightly better mover, slightly better athlete. It's close, but I don't know. It's hard because I think Vachereau is more new to this, right? But his upside is slightly higher, whereas we kind of have a bigger track record with Rinderknech.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, it's tough. Like I said, I'll also go back. Astro is not going to be defending anything in terms of points.
Right.
And I think his ranking's higher right now than Rinderknecht. It is. He's in the top 30. So like he's going to have the better draws. So like I'd probably go with Vacherot to have the higher ranking just because I don't think he needs to be as good of a tennis player as Rinderknecht does to have the higher ranking.
Okay. I mean, they're pretty close. No, Rinderknech is two slots higher. He's
Oh,
28.
really?
He's
Oh, Rinderknecht's in the top 30 now?
yeah. He's
All right.
28, Vachereau's 30.
Okay. I still would think that Vacherot will pass him pretty quickly because Vacherot has nothing to defend. Um,
Yeah, and the final is such a big discrepancy versus a champion of a Masters
Oh,
1000
honestly, man,
points.
Rinderknecht's in the same boat. Honestly, I might go with Rinderknecht the more I think about it, because Rinderknecht actually has basically nothing to defend in the first half of the year either.
Really?
Like, yeah, I mean, I'm trying to look. His biggest stuff he's got to. I mean, he doesn't have to defend Wimbledon. Wimbledon's 100 points for round three, right? But he doesn't have to defend that until June. Um, Obviously, he doesn't have to defend Queens until June. Beijing, Shanghai, obviously not for a long time. U.S. Open fourth round, that's not for a long time. Yeah, like he has literally almost nothing to defend in the first half of the year. He's got some like second round appearances in like 250s. And like that's literally it. Second round appearance in Madrid.
Yeah, which should be a good tournament for him, honestly. Clay
But I
Alpha.
mean, that's literally it. Like a couple of second round 250s and a second round in Madrid is it until June. Then after June, it gets pretty rough because he was doing so well. But like
Yeah, but same
he's
with
got
Vachereau.
5 months to pick it.
In a
What?
well, not really for Vachereau because he doesn't have fourth round points to defend at the U.S. Open.
Backer doesn't have anything to defend until literally until Shanghai.
That's crazy.
So I mean, he's got 200 points, but not that's across the whole year. Like
Yeah. Yeah, Rinderknech actually had a really bad start to the year. He's just really,
really bad start.
and that's
Yeah.
probably where the prices originated from, right? Because like if you look at those results, why would you price him,
I also think
plus
like
150 against FAA on a quick hard court?
I also think like if you look at it, like again, we talked about his great results against better guys, but he still has these like bad results mixed in, which are
Yeah.
going to keep his price down a little bit, and they should.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, one thing I was also really impressed with Vachereau was how well he played the big points. like against Nori in Paris, right? Like he got outplayed in that match, but he played every big point so well, just
Yeah.
with so much
We'll
clarity.
see how long that lasts for. Like, I don't know. I feel like that there could be some regression to the mean coming on that. Like I'm usually not high on guys who are doing that. Like obviously if you can do that over like a 2 year period or something, I'll change my tune. But I think for 6 weeks, like, you're totally talking about maybe 50, 100 big point, 50 or 100, maybe more than that. But, I think you can play the big points well for a couple of weeks and it just be like kind of luck slash variance. So that's my take on
Yeah.
that.
I mean, it's a fascinating discussion because those two guys they actually have pretty similar games. And I think
Yeah.
the reason why Vacherot gets Rinderknech more often than not is because of the backhand discrepancy. I'm like the
I think
back.
that show's a little different. I think back row's is a little more well rounded. Rinderknech is,
Yeah,
and I think Rinderknech's a little more flashy. I mean, some of this, like, Rinderknech can do some really amazing things.
he can. But I thought Vacherot can too. There was one point that they played in Paris, and Vacherot hit this like crazy passing shot like from behind him.
Yeah, I remember.
He passed
Yeah.
my route.
No,
You
no,
remember that
yeah,
point?
I
They're both
I don't
flashy
think
in
they're
their
too
own way.
different. I don't think they're too different. I would agree with that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's cool. I feel like we have like another two guys that are very, very relevant right now that are kind of added into the mix, right? Like before
Yeah,
Shanghai, will we ever have this discussion? Maybe we talk like 5 minutes of Rinderknech for a decent US Open run, right? But like not like
yeah,
this, you know?
yeah. Yeah,
And now
I
going
agree.
into 2026, these are guys that are going to like we're going to talk about. Like I put both of these guys higher than Tiafo right now.
Yeah,
You know? So, all right, so I guess let's transition to Fokina losing another final in Basel. This time it was lacking drama, right? It was just a kind of a quick uh,
yeah. I mean, he just got outplayed. I actually thought he did pretty well to lose 3 and 4, but he got outplayed badly. Yeah,
against Fonseca.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I hope the guy wins the title next year. To be honest, like I almost
I
feel
mean, look, to be honest, like he was, a half, like maybe not half, like an inch or two away from beating Kecmanovic, and then and then he was a very lucky lob from Demonor away from winning that final.
yeah, in Washington. Yeah, that's true.
So I have a hard time bashing like Fokina too much. I mean, like obviously the choking after that was not good, and he's been kind of a choker his whole career. But I do think he's gotten a lot like this. He's made some significant strides mentally this year. Not just toughness, but also tactics. Like he replaced his coach at the beginning of the year, and I think that's been a great move for him. I think it's really worked wonders.
I agree. I agree. I mean, last year he was terrible relative to his level. I thought 2023 was better,
3 was better, yeah. Yeah,
right?
yeah, much
And he
better. Much better.
regressed.
Yeah, 24 is a bad year.
But yeah, I mean, I just feel like the longer it takes, it's going to get harder and harder. It's kind of like Zverev in terms of winning a slam, and with Fonseca, it's just kind of a lower level, right?
Yeah,
But
I would agree with that.
the scar tissue gets deeper every time you fall short.
I would agree with that. And obviously, it was not great. The final performance against Fonseca was not great, and that was
Yeah.
disappointing. And he made the final of Acapulco this year. That and he put in a very disappointing effort against Bacach. So yeah, there have been some.
Yeah.
It hasn't been all roses from that perspective. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's a very good year. Like I said, I'm just he's really fun to watch. He's a really good player. Like he's got everything.
He's so flashy, he's so athletic, right? He is a lot of fun to
He's
watch.
but he's also really good off of both wings.
He is. He is good. He's actually underrated at net too, in a
He's
way.
good at the net. Yeah, I mean
Great
he's
athlete.
got everything in the game that you could ask for.
Serve needs a little work. I think he doesn't win enough free points on serve.
I think that's fair. Yeah, I guess. Sure.
But yeah. Otherwise, I mean, he's fantastic. It's always a fun watch with him. You also never know what you're gonna get, right? So It's
Yeah,
just
but honestly, but like last year it was like, and even 2023, it was like really didn't know what you were gonna get. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I guess like have there been that many like true dud performances out of him this year? I can't think of too
I thought
many.
the Zverev match in Paris was kind of a dud. He competed hard, but just couldn't put anything together. Um,
I would agree with that, but I don't know, man. Like, didn't I mean it's not like the days of 24 when he was getting like, didn't he get straight setted by like who straight set him? The Nuno Borges straight set him at the Australian Open in 24, I think. Was it Nuno who
yeah,
did that?
that's
Yeah,
true.
so like it's not the like I think he made significant strides this year, is what I'm saying.
I would agree with that. Duckworth was a dud in Los Cabos.
That was a dud. That was a dud. That was, but honestly, it wasn't like surprising.
I mean, I'm never
I
surprised
didn't
at a
think.
Fokina dud.
What?
I'm never surprised at a Fokina dud. I'm just disappointed at a
I
Fokina dud.
just thought that was a weird tournament. Like that was very much a tournament where like, um, yeah, I just feel like that was a tournament that was like made to be a dud.
I guess, yeah. Yeah, I mean he's had a good year. He's in the top 20, so
He's in the top 15.
yeah,
He's going to finish world number 14, which is fantastic for him.
it is. It's good. It's good. Yeah. Yeah, I can't really see him getting much higher than that unless he wins the title, right? Like he's gonna that I mean it shows that he's put together consistent results. He just if you don't win titles, you don't get the biggest, chunk of points that you can get in that given week, right? So
Yeah, I mean,
get the
it
top
is
seven.
crazy. Like if he had won that title in Washington, well, he maybe he passes Bublik, so it's not killing him that much. Like it's not like he made the finals of a Masters, or a Slam where they're like talking about like 400 to 600 points.
True. Yeah.
So
All right.
yeah, I mean he outranked Holger Rune this year, and obviously that's probably partially the Holger Rune Achilles thing. Which is sad. Like that's just I don't like Holger Rune as a player, but it still is disappointing to see a top
It
10
is.
guy go out, for a long period of time. And that could be career changing, especially in tennis. So that's disappointing.
You rarely see
Um,
injuries like that too in tennis. Like I you see that a lot in football, but like
yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen a torn Achilles in tennis.
I've seen a few really bad injuries in tennis, right? Like everybody remembers this Zverev one. I
There
think there was the
one, yeah,
Bethany
okay.
Maddox Sands one. I feel like there's one a year,
Yeah, maybe.
maybe a couple a year where guys get like really seriously hurt. Um,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, who would have thought the Fokine would have outranked Tommy Paul?
Well, Paul was hurt after the US Open. He hasn't played since then. So,
True, true. Which is frustrating because oh no, I will catch that. I had like a plus 200 and a minus 175 on Paul to make the top 20. And
oh,
I will cash, I think it looks like I will cash my Tommy Paul to make the top 20 by 10 points. He finished number 20. So I didn't realize he was that much of a sweat, but it was.
well, one bet you did lose is with me is the next guy we're going to talk about, Medvedev to be ranked higher than Fritz.
Yeah.
Right? Remember that?
I do. You know what though, man? Like Medvedev went into a long tank,
Yeah,
but post US Open, he's come back.
he has. He has. I don't think I'm going to make the same bet in 2026. Because I think Medvedev is trending in the right direction right now. Um, I just think it's his discipline, which was lacking the rest of the year, right? Whatever you want to say, discipline, motivation, um, tactics, right? But I think it mainly falls into discipline, just kind of digging into points, right?
Yeah, a little bit. I think, yeah, because like ironically, like he still is struggling with grinders. Like Lerner did a really good job against. I mean, Lerner's had a fantastic year, but like Lerner's, I would put
Yeah,
Lerner a few levels below Medvedev still, and like he really struggled against Lerner.
he does.
Um, Trying to see who else he kind of played and struggled against, but it feels like he's really struggled with like grinder types of players. Um, I mean, he crushed Munar, lost a set to Nuno, lost to Mute twice, once in Vienna, which is probably shouldn't happen.
Yeah,
Struggled
struggle.
against Walton.
I mean, I wouldn't classify Walton as a grinder, to be honest.
But I would classify him as a guy that like. I mean, I guess how would you classify Walton? Like, I would put him as like a. I mean, he's like a.
He's just a
I guess what you're saying. He's not like a
yeah.
challenge level. He's not like a grinder, but like.
He's just a blah. It's just a yeah. You know what I mean?
But he's not a high weapons guy, right? Like,
Yeah, yeah,
I
that's
guess is what I'm
true.
saying. Like, he seems to be underperforming versus underpowered players. Not
Mute,
always, but
North.
more often than not.
Yeah, but then like he struggled against Sonego in Paris, right?
Yeah, true, true.
So it's not all one player profile. I just think
Not
his
all, but it seems like more often than not.
I mean his tactics haven't been as sound this year, right? I think that's been a problem as well. And
But
I
I think they've gotten better the past, and yeah, I think, we talked about it before, right? I think like, you know, he still isn't doing quite as good a job as I think he needs to do in terms of like moving the ball around the court. Like if he's gonna play the way he's gonna play, he has to be a little more aggressive, like location wise.
mm-hmm.
Um,
Oh,
just because his standard ball isn't that great, right? So if
right.
he's just hitting balls in like the middle of the backcourt, that's really not very good for him. But
Yeah. I'm trying to
we'll
look at
also see because like the other thing with him is that, like this stretch was a stretch that he should do well in, So we'll see what happens once he gets onto like clay or grass where he's not as good.
I'm trying to see if there's a difference in his serving statistics, like from earlier this year to the recent like two months, like post US Open. Has there been a drastic improvement in that area?
I'm pulling it for you real quick. Got it up. I'll pull it for you. All right. So first ins, 2024, 62%, full year 25, 61%, 61.3. Um, Back half of 2025, 63.8. Now I'm not sure how much that is being indoors and how much that is balls.
Hmm.
Obviously like better conditions in balls, but I'm not sure.
What about his?
First serve one percentage,
Yeah.
73% in 23 and 24, 76 and 25, 76.8 back half of 25. Again, like could be conditions, obviously
How about second
they're
serve percentage?
49 and 24, 49 and 25, 48.4 back half of this year.
Oh wow, so it's pretty similar across the board. Across the
Yeah.
bigger sample
Yeah.
size. See, I thought that the serving has precipitously declined, and that's what kind of factored into why he's struggled a lot. I mean, combined with the lack of discipline in rallies and just not mentally being there. Um, but maybe it's more than that. He's been a really hard guy to for me to understand. Like why was he so bad the first half of 2025, and what was he doing so differently before that made him a top five player?
I think a lot of it's mental. I mean, you said it, man. I think a lot of it's mental with him. Like he has to be mentally locked in order to be successful
Yeah.
because he doesn't have the game to do it any other way.
but he must have been so mentally locked in. The fact that he maintained a top five ranking for 5 years.
That's what's incredible about it. Yeah.
Like, has the tour just gotten that much better, or is it all him? That's what I'm also trying, like, struggling to figure out.
Yeah, it's a good question. I think the top two are really bad matchups for him now.
hmm
Whereas like he matched up decently with Djokovic in the past.
Yeah, Djokovic doesn't like have the natural power that Alcaraz and Sinner have, right?
Yeah.
I agree.
Um,
I think Djokovic is a better matchup and I think actually think Federer and Nadal were better matchups for Medvedev than Sinner and Alcaraz.
I agree, and I also think like it also could be something too where like um and I'd love to see somebody measure this, but like looking at the top guys, we've got huge serves, right? So the top guys, Sinner, good serve now. Alcaraz, good serve. But those guys are at a different level. But then you look at like 3 through 10, Zverev, huge serve. Fritz, huge serve. Djokovic, not huge serve, but places it fantastically. Shelton, massive serve. Deemer is obviously the exception. FAA, really, really good serve. So like that's 3 through 8, and like five of those six guys have a huge service advantage over Medvedev. And I just think like it's really hard to overcome if you're down off the serve, especially against these top guys. Like realistically, how many times are you going to break Taylor Fritz in a match?
Yeah, but I think that that comes with other guys solving the Medvedev puzzle. Remember how like other guys were so like back in like 2019 when he had that rise, like people were so perplexed with Medvedev standing like 45 feet behind the baseline to return serve, and he would get back into the rally and just like grind him down, and like no one would understand why, right?
Yeah,
And I feel like people have adjusted to that, and like now he can't do that.
I see. I don't know that I agree with that. Like I think
He
that
can do that, but he's not. I feel like he's not going to be successful anymore doing that.
define successful. Like you don't think he's going to be in the top 10?
I think he gets back into the top 10 next year, but that all has to do with his like how focused he is mentally.
But I think that's the thing, right? Let's focus mentally. I don't think he falls that far. And I think the falling, at least in my mind, I have to go back to the rankings from previous years, but I think the falling is just like if you're up against Fritz, Djokovic, Shelton, Zverev, like if you don't have a big serve, it makes it really hard against those guys.
Yeah, I don't think the question is he going to get back into the top 10? I think it's going to be is he ever going to get back into the top 5? And I would lean no there.
I would lean yes. I think he will. Will he become a mainstay in the top five again? I think that's a good question, but I think he'll get back in.
Do you want a dinner bet in 2026 does he get back into the top 5? I'm going to say no, you say yes. He doesn't have to stay there, he just has to get in there.
I'm thinking I'm gonna go no. I'm gonna say no. I think, but if you gave me 2 years with it, I would probably do it. I'm just looking at it and because I'm looking at the top five, and I'm looking at Sinner, Alcaraz, Zverev, Fritz, Djokovic. Can he pass those guys? Seems rough. And then Shelton sixth.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that you would have going for you if you said yes is the fact that he's been so bad in slams this year, right? And he's still, what, 13? Or what's his ranking right now?
Yeah, 13. Yeah,
13. So, like, I think he has first round
or
losses.
12. He's 12, not 13. He's 12.
And he has first round
Um,
losses at the French Wimbledon and US Open, right? So he has a ton of points to make up there.
yeah, I mean, but then what I was thinking is he is 1,600 points behind Djokovic for fifth, 2,600 behind Zverev for third, 1,800 behind Zverev behind Fritz for fourth.
Yeah, it's a lot of points. And it is going to be an uphill
And
battle.
Fritz was injured for a good part of this year too. Zverev's had a down year. He'll probably be better. I mean, we'll see with Zverev, but he had a bad year this year.
Yeah,
Fritz,
his ex-
what?
relative to his expectation, yes.
Yeah, Fritz
Uh,
had some injury issues and could theoretically have a better year next year. Um, Djokovic, the question is how much will he play? Shelton should be better. He should continue to improve. I
mhm.
mean, we saw improvements in August, September, so he should continue to improve. So yeah, I mean, like,
But another thing to think about with Medvedev is that he's not getting any younger, right? He's pushing 30 now, right? And like the way he has to play is such high energy. Like maybe he's just a guy that fades
well,
out,
that's the problem, right?
right?
That's the other problem is like, okay, we saw him come back for 4 months or for 2 months now and be really good. Right? It's only been like 8 weeks since the U.S. Open, so we're talking about how he's been good, but it's only been 2 months.
Right.
So like, can he do this for a full year? Because that's what it would take to get back in the top 10 or top five. I mean,
Yeah.
even top 10 will have to be better, right? He'll have to be locked in for most of the year. If he wants to get the top five, he's gonna have to be locked in the whole year.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I guess the next guy we can talk about that has been always good indoors, but I wonder if his upside is any higher than like where he's ranked now is FAA. Has he ever made tour finals before?
Yes, yeah.
Once,
Remember,
right?
I'm pretty sure he was in the top. I think he might have cracked the top five at one point, and I'm pretty sure he made tour finals. He did. He made tour finals for sure. 22.
22. Okay. Yeah, that was the year where I think he had that crazy. He beat Djokovic at Laver Cup and then like went off, right? The rest of the year.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I think his peak rank is number six. He's never been top five. He's peak rank is number
Yeah.
six.
And that's the only year he qualified, right? 2022.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, he's really turned it on. Do you characterize FAA as a one-dimensional player, but just like really good at that dimension that he has? I feel like when FAA like doesn't play well or has those like random three setters against like the Alex Muller, it's just because he's hitting the same ball like 40 times in a row. Doesn't it feel like that?
Yeah, I think he tends to become so he's less multidimensional than a lot of other top guys, right? I would say. And
Hmm.
it almost feels like it's more by choice, but I feel like his tactics are very um like you don't really see him like move the ball around the court a lot. He tends to play a lot of very standard tennis in my mind.
Yeah.
Um
Just very like linear balls.
yeah, very linear tennis. Yeah, and like the key for him is like he's actually pretty good at what he does.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't have to play like crazy variety, but if he just like throws in some balls with different paces, mixes up the spin every once in a while, he can play pretty linearly and still be pretty successful. I think where he runs into troubles when he becomes, to your point, when he plays the same ball 40 times in a row, and all of a sudden guys just start honing in and locking in. We even saw Spizzirri do it actually for a
I
set.
know. I know. Exactly. Yeah, I thought, I mean, the last memory I have of watching FAA was that match against Sinner at in the Paris final, and I actually thought he did a really good job. I thought he played a very good match. Like, I thought that's probably the best he can possibly do for where his game is at right now. To get to,
Yeah.
3-6 on a quick indoor hard court is pretty damn good.
I mean, he also took a set off him at the U.S. Open, so give him credit for that too.
Yeah, that too. I mean, I thought he did a good job of taking balls early when Sinner was off the court, and that won him a lot of points.
I think he does a good job of that in general. Like, yeah, I think that's one of the big things that has made him better. Like he's playing a lot more aggressively now. He
Yeah,
has made that change. He's I don't know. I have the stats on it. I could be wrong, but it feels like he's moved up in the court and is doing a better job. I mean, I think to your point, he's taking away space,
yep,
taking away time and space from his opponents. And I think that's really because he hits a great ball.
he does. I mean, I still think his backhand needs work, right? Like that was the biggest discrepancy against Sinner. I mean, against 90% of the tour, it's fine. But against the top guys, we're going to see this week in
Sure,
right, Turin.
sure,
Like
I agree.
that's a
Yeah, I
big
mean,
discrepancy.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, I mean,
but I think that's the key for him because I also think like when he's playing more aggressively, he just by virtue of playing more aggressively, he starts hitting like balls that are a little bit different, like not even intentional, But I feel like when you like because those balls are tougher to take, right? Like when a player is inside the baseline or near the baseline, like they have to hit tougher shots,
hmm
which means that I think you end up kind of like looping the ball with the same spin every time, like players can get into when they're behind the baseline too far.
that's true. I just wish he would utilize a little bit more drop shots and some more angles and variety because I that one thing that frustrates me with FAA is that he is an above average athlete. Like he's a better athlete than Medvedev, for example. You know,
I
uh,
think he's a very good athlete. But like, there's a difference between being athletic and having like touch.
okay, that's fair. Yeah, his hands are probably not very good, and he probably knows that, which is why he plays the way he does, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. Yeah, I mean, he's decent at net, but I think it's all because of his athleticism, right? Not because of his hands. Whereas, like with Mickelson, for example, it's only because of his hands, but not
I
as.
also think like in my mind, I also think if you FA a lot of credit. Like to me, he seems like a guy who like I feel his game looks like he puts in the work. Like,
He does put in the work.
and so like and I like his demeanor on the court. He's very quiet, seems pretty humble. So like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, except the retirement in Basel was a little bit big question mark on that one. What was that
That
about?
was very
That
strange.
was weird.
That was very
Did he
strange.
just lose a set and like, oh, I can gain more points in Paris. I'm just gonna like go there and get ready. That's what it
Yeah,
felt
I
like.
mean, that's what it felt like. It makes you wonder, like, if there was something specifically, like if he had an illness or something, like
Yeah, but like then you get over an illness and you make a final of a Masters. Like that doesn't make much sense.
it doesn't. But remember how much he struggled in the Paris Masters the first three rounds? Like he barely got by Muller.
It's true.
Comasanya wasn't easy.
Yeah, it's true.
Altmaier, he was down a set, and Altmaier had him on the ropes. So like, you know,
Yeah. Well, I guess we could play this game like with that we did with Medvedev and Fritz in 2025. So who ends 2026 ranked higher, Medvedev or FAA?
I will go Medvedev.
I'll go FAA.
All right, so that'll be the dinner bet. That'll be the dinner bet.
Nice, nice. Very nice. All right, so let's transition to what we saw this week in Metz and Athens. So I think we have to talk about Lerner Tien, who won his first title in Metz, coming back from 5-1 down in the third set breaker against Nori. I mean, he was up a break and he was up a set, so I guess to choke, like you can't say it's just a pure choke from Nori, I guess. But man, he's impressive. 19 years old. I mean, he's in what? he's in the top 40 now, right? Like, where is he ranked? 10 this year?
38, correct.
38, which is excellent. I mean, my takeaway from watching his game is he's incredible at getting from a defensive position to neutral and kind of lulling a player to like lulling an opponent to sleep with just decent neutral balls that are not attackable, and then like finding an opening in the court. And that's like it sounds very simple, but it's very difficult. And he's so good at it at such a young age, and that's a very, very advanced like tactical nuance in someone's game that usually takes years to develop that he has at such an early age.
I think it's his tactics. You hit on the head, man. I think it's his
Yeah,
tactics. His tactics are incredible, man. Like,
really are.
and you mentioned getting out of jail so well, but it's like he does it more tactically than anything else.
He does. It's not with athleticism. It's just like he knows exactly where to put the ball to get back in position for the next ball.
Yeah,
Right?
and he's a guy like he is only 19. I mean, I actually think the athleticism can get better. Like, why can't it? Right? Like, if he goes and if he trains that right, like now the problem is it's hard to train that while you're on the tour because like how much is he going to be like doing the off court work when he's on the tour to like to do anything more than maintain.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't think he has the most athletic genes. The gene pool is not like the greatest, right? It doesn't
Yeah, I
look like
mean, I would agree with that. He doesn't. It doesn't seem to be natural, so I'll agree with that in the way that it is with other players. But yeah, I mean, it's tough. I do think like the tour is a grind, and I think it is tough. Like it's tough to improve that off court stuff once you get on the tour. I just don't know when you do it,
it.
because like you're playing every week.
Yeah, but I think what I'm impressed with him is also he's maintained a decent level throughout the year more than other guys his age. Like I don't
Clay
think
was really bad.
what?
Clay was very bad.
Yeah, but Clay is going to be bad for all of them. But like throughout the hard court swings, like which is the majority of the tour, I feel like he's been able to maintain it better than like a Mickelson, for example.
Yeah, I just think the fact that he essentially had like I'm trying to look and see how many matches he actually played during the. I mean, he did play every week during the clay season, but he was really playing like a match a week because he was just losing the first round all the time.
Hmm.
Um,
Well, he beat Opelka in Rome. Does that count?
that's the one win. That's the one main draw win. And again, I'm not sure Opelka is really a clay like a slow
Yeah.
clay guy either.
He beat VDZ in Munich, qualifiers and Squire. Lost to Mickelson in Houston.
It's no bueno
Yeah, it's no bueno.
on the
I
clay.
agree. I agree. I mean, yeah, but I think overall it's, first full year on tour at 19 to
It's
make
fantastic.
top
It's
40.
fantastic. It's
We're really
fantastic.
nitpicking, so it's
It's
good.
fantastic.
Yeah. And I think with his
He's
tactics,
just so smart. It's just incredible how tactically smart he is. And like he
yeah,
puts every ball in the right spot. It's amazing.
yeah, it is.
And he's also like able. He's also really accurate.
He is accurate.
Like that's the good is he's able to get the ball out of people's strike zones. Like he can go cross court, and he doesn't have to go cross court right at the person very often because he's actually able to like hit pretty close to the lines pretty consistently, which is a huge advantage. And that's how he gets himself like into position on so many points is because
Yeah.
like he doesn't hit like the most amazing ball, but he hits it like near the sideline and it like makes the other guy move. It puts the other guy out of position and makes the ball for the other guy tough.
But also he has a decent injection of pace, right? So when he sees the opening, he's able to go there with some, well, maybe it's accuracy more than potency. Maybe it's kind of like an RBA kind of type, right?
I'm gonna go in between. I think what he's you said injection of pace, and yeah, I think like the baseball term would be like he's got like a good differential between his changeup and his fastball. Like
Okay.
his fastball might not be that fast, but like he does have multiple speeds that he hits at, multiple
Yeah.
paces. And so like I think he can actually and it'd be interesting, like I've never played against him, but like he's probably a guy that an opponent would think like, oh wow, there's more pace coming at me than actually is when he does that kind of injection of pace
Hmm.
because they're not like timed into it, because he does mix up pace and spin and location and yeah, like I just
Yeah.
really love what he's recording. It's fantastic.
And also, I'm sure guys that he plays like think that, okay, he's not the most athletic guy. There's an opening here to go, right? I can go here and get into an offensive position, and they go there, and it's sealed up in the
Yeah.
next ball,
Yep.
and like
Yep.
it's just yeah, it's just like I'm in awe. I wonder what his ceiling is. Like I don't. It's going to be hard to improve from this ranking. I think maybe he can get into the top 30. Um, but I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. Medvedev also said that he's just an amazing tennis player. He was like in awe too. Did you see that interview with Medvedev after playing Lerner?
Yeah. Yeah. I
You
saw
did?
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, it's pretty cool. Djokovic. So obviously nice week in Athens, but then he he withdraws from the tour finals. And you just see this big smile on Lorenzo Mussetti's face when they embrace at the net. The troll was complete.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was funny. So
Yeah.
now Musetti had to go put all that energy in, and I mean he actually gets the benefit because now he doesn't have to play Sinner in the first match. I think he plays Fritz in the first match. So like he even got like a benefit, from the withdrawal.
Oh, right, because he takes Djokovic's spot. Right,
Right.
right, yeah.
Because um if he ended up winning that final, then FAA would have been in Musetti's spot right now.
Yeah,
And
I still think it's an overall benefit. Like he had to play four pretty tough matches. And
yeah.
did he drop a couple of sets? I thought he dropped at least one set on his way to the final.
Yeah, he Wawrinka.
And Korda.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. And
Yeah, so he had a pretty brutal run to the final, like, especially in a short tournament, because he only had four matches, but I think it was either 4 and 4 days or 4 and 5 days. There's not many off days because it was like an abbreviated 250.
yeah.
It was essentially a 6-day 250. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, now if you want to say the positive thing for Mazzetti is he did go out the first round in Paris.
Yeah, I mean it's fine, I guess. I mean, he's still only 23. We think he's like 28 because like he's been around for,
Yeah.
right? But um he's improving on hard court, but I think Buzzetti's biggest issue is just he just doesn't take the ball early enough. Like what we praised FAA for in taking the ball early and cutting off the court is what Musetti doesn't do enough of.
I agree.
And
I
I
also think his tactics are general. I mean, like it was fascinating the Djokovic match today, man, because like Mazzetti's tactics were not great.
no. He was just
Like
bailing.
he's got a lot of options and he's very good at a lot of different things,
Yeah.
but I'm not sure he always picks the best one out of the bag. He certainly didn't today against Djokovic.
Well, also he pulled a rabbit out of the hat more than anything, any like almost any match I've seen. Like his shot making today was absurd. From like deep in the court, those backhand passes, like
Yeah,
ridiculous. I mean, even the first set, running for drop shots and hitting flick winners, like ridiculous lobs. I mean, it was from a like eye candy perspective, it was incredible. Like it
yeah,
was theater, right?
yeah.
But in terms of winning tennis matches and making top eight consistently and improving your hard court record, I would say no, you know?
Right,
And I
right.
think that's where like the perception on Twitter kind of is not correct. Everyone's like, "Oh, this is amazing match, amazing this and that." Is it really? I don't know. Like I feel like if he played Sinner, this would be like 2-2 today,
Yeah, yeah.
right? So I don't know. I mean, he wants to be at the Tour Finals because it's in Italy, right? Like he's playing Davis Cup too, so
It's also, man, I mean, it's a huge accomplishment for him to make the top 10. You
yeah.
know, like that's a big accomplishment.
He just had such a great clay court swing. His clay court season was amazing.
Well, his game plays up so much on clay too, especially like
Yes.
if he's not bailing out of rallies early, right? Like then his game plays so well on clay. Because he does have like he's got all the variety. He's got everything you need on clay.
Yeah. I mean, he was just
He's
so gassed.
accurate. Like
He was so gassed for grass, right? Like
yeah,
if he did
yeah.
something on grass, he would have got in pretty easily.
And I think he can be okay on the grass. I don't think his grass game is that bad.
No, it's not. It's not because he has a knifing slice, right?
Yeah.
Um, he just needs to improve taking the ball earlier. Like I actually think his serve is is not bad, and like he's not really underpowered like everyone says, right? Like I don't really use that term when describing Musetti.
Um, he is okay power. Like he has enough. I mean, look, like I would argue Djokovic was slightly underpowered, right? For a top five player, I would say Djokovic didn't have the biggest like
Yeah.
shots his whole career, but it was enough, right? And I think that I would put Musetti in the same bucket.
Okay, I get that. That's good. Yeah. I mean, Djokovic is Djokovic, right? And like it almost feels like Athens is his hometown now. I think there's some strange stuff.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think he got in trouble in Serbia. Like he had some, I think like he's having some issues like because he has some political views that people don't agree with, and people are like,
Yeah.
going after him for, and he didn't feel safe. So, which is unfortunate because he is a national hero.
I know. I know. But are you surprised that he withdrew from the World Tour Finals or
No, no.
yeah,
Like I feel like in some ways he's at a point where like I don't know how much he really cares about like the tour anymore either, you know? Like ranking doesn't really matter to him.
no.
It's all about like I think there's a piece of it that's setting up his own post tennis career, supporting his family, you know.
Staying relevant, right? Like pushing himself to the limit, whatever he considers that, whatever limit he considers, right? Like just kind of
Yeah.
for himself, like, okay, I can still do this.
Yeah, and there's probably also a part of it, like, I think like the true biggest stage, right? Like the slams, like, he made four semis this year, right?
Yeah.
So like he still is proving that he can play at a top five level. I mean,
Oh, I view him as number three in the world, no matter
I
what the
do too.
rankings
I
say.
do too.
I don't think you can
I do
debate that.
too.
Like Zverev
Which
just
I think is
plays.
incredible. He's 38 and he still is at that level.
Yeah. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's incredible. Um, all right, so let's talk some power rankings. I mean, we hit on Lerner a lot, so I guess like two other guys we should like talk about then. We don't necessarily have to compare them to each other, but Mute and Bublik, two quote unquote clowns from previous years, have gotten way more professional in
Yeah.
2025.
Yeah.
And they're just so much fun to watch, especially Mute. Is there ever a dull moment when watching one of his matches? Like,
No, and Mute's so fun because he is so return oriented
yeah,
that like his matches have a lot more ups and downs too. Like every game really matters. Whereas Bublik is a very serve oriented player still.
yeah.
So like if he gets up a break, he'll just serve it out 6-3 or 6-4, right? Whereas Mute, like being down two breaks is nothing for Mute. Being up two breaks is really nothing either. Like
He's
so yeah, Mute is like
he's a
you never know
damn
what's
good
gonna
tennis
happen.
player, though. I mean, the way he varies paces and trajectories of balls and like
Oh, he's an incredible player. He is an incredible tennis player. He is underpowered.
he is
That's like if you want to know somebody's underpowered, Mute is underpowered.
right, but he masks it in such a clever way, right?
Oh, it's so fun to watch because he really does. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, has Mute and Lerner played this year?
I think they have actually, but I could be wrong.
That's like much TV if they ever play. Yeah, 2-1 Lerner. Lerner got him in Shanghai in 3 sets, 4-6, 6-4, 6-4. Mute got him in Mallorca, 6-2, 7-5. I guess grass, I guess the natural surfaces are going to favor Mute. And then they played in Australia, 7-6, 6-3, 6-3 for Lerner. But
Yeah. So
yeah, I mean, who would you put ahead of each other, Lerner or Mute, if you have to power rank them?
well, on a hard court learner on a natural surface Mute.
Makes
So
sense.
I'm not going to answer the question.
Okay. And then Bublik. I mean, he's just so naturally talented, right? Like
Yeah.
his hands are just
Yeah.
off the charts. Um, but I really think that his mindset of like, okay, I'm not gonna rally with this guy, right? Or like he has a very clear picture of what he knows he can do on a court, and I think it
Yeah.
helps him,
I would agree.
you know? Like, and then he doesn't try to be anyone, right?
Yep.
Because if he tried to be like, okay, like, a Nadal, right? It just wouldn't work. And he knows that.
Yeah. Yep.
So, and I think he's a little bit less crazy than Kyrgios, right?
Oh, I think he's way, way less crazy. Like he's a little crazy, but like I've seen many more instances of Bublik being like there have been instances of Bublik like being a jerk, but there's also been instances of Bublik being a very nice guy on the
Yeah.
court and showing a lot of sportsmanship. So like, yeah, I just think I don't know. I think he's fantastic. So fun to watch.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah, that Bublik Mute match in Paris was that was a sight to, sight to be
it
seen.
was. It was.
Especially that second set when like Mute had like 6 break points in one of the service games or something.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, that was crazy. But
But Bublik's doing a much better job of being like more willing to rally than he ever has in the past. Like
he's
he's playing much more. He's playing actually like pretty smart tennis now. It's
yeah.
not classically smart, but like it's playing to his strengths.
I mean, he's so capable. Like,
That's the point. Like
right?
he can do things that like most people would consider dumb because like, but like there are things that we would say, oh, that's a dumb shot, but it's actually a good shot for him.
Which is yeah, insane. It's crazy. It's crazy.
But
Just
he
man.
still does lack a little bit, like FAA got him in Paris.
Yeah.
Um, and he still does kind of lack that ability to like play at like, one. And I think it's also the game style, but like, um, when he goes up against guys that are just like really solid, it's tough.
It is. It is. I mean, we saw the match against Demonor. Like he really had to dig deep there, right? And
Yeah.
make it a shot making battle.
And I didn't think Demoner played all that well.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree. I mean, just the service discrepancy alone, though, was kind of enough to make that a good matchup, right? Whereas, like, versus FAA, like, FAA, Bublik doesn't have a massive service advantage. I would say a slight service advantage against FAA, but not a big one, right? So
Yeah.
if FAA is being solid off the ground, it's going to be hard
Yeah.
for him to win. Whereas with Demonor, like, if he gets his teeth into a return game, it's going to be way harder for Demon to break. Right?
True.
Like
True.
Demon,
Yeah.
bad matchup for Demon. Just as it as you
Oh, I see. I disagree with that because, like, I think it's a good matchup for Demon. It's just that, like,
it's a good match
because
both
like Demon has
ways.
that serve disadvantage against everyone, right? So it's not like a matchup thing for Demon because anytime Demon plays anybody in the top 10, he has a big serve disadvantage.
Okay, but that's also why he's like 2-12 or 2-14 versus the guys that he's playing this week in Torino.
So like that's the problem, right? Like the problem is like Demon has a game to beat, like to destroy anybody outside the top 20 and have a really hard time against anybody in the top 10. And that's why I mean he's gotten into the top 10 recently. I think mostly because of just like a lack of guys in that like 3 through 10 level. But like I don't know, I feel like Demon's gotten into the top 10 kind of as a default because
Hmm.
like Hubie hurt, Rublev gone in some mystery. Well, Rublev is just down. Um, Medvedev down. Rune, various issues, injuries, fatigue, blah blah blah. But I feel like it's a bunch of other guys that have gone down that have allowed him to get into the top 10 instead of him like moving up.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, and he's just there to take advantage of anyone that's like feeling sick or something like that, right? Like he's there to pounce.
Give him credit. Like give him credit. Like because he does that, right? So give him credit for that.
I know.
But yeah, I do feel like he's kind of there to yeah, he's you said it right. He's kind of just like there. Like
But he
he's
hasn't truly taken advantage though. Like I do want him to get over the hump and win one of these Masters 1000s because like he just prepares so hard, right?
I'd
Like
like to see it. I just think it's really hard. Like how does he like it's hard for him to do.
I mean, I wonder if Bublik would say the same thing if Demonor won the Shanghai instead of Vacherot.
I think that tells you that Blue was kind of I mean, I don't know if he honestly felt that way or if he was kidding around, but like, you know,
Yeah. All
yeah.
right, let's enter a recap with kind of a fun discussion. So indoor hard court, right? Medium to fast, I would say. You have one guy to win a match. Who would you trust the most? Sonigo, Marjan, or Shapo?
If it's a little bit slower, if it's medium or slow, I go Chapo.
Hmm.
I don't love Chapo on faster courts.
I'd agree with that.
And I actually think Sonigo's game plays up pretty well on faster courts. So if it's fast, I think I go Sonigo. If it's medium or slow, I'd go Chapo. I think Marizon is just like he might be second on the right court pace, but like he's like maybe he's better than Sonigo on a slow court, but I don't.
Yeah,
I
I
put
would tend to
Marizon on
agree on you.
part of level below.
I think I would agree. Shapo's definitely better on slower. We saw that in Acapulco and Dallas, I think, was slow this year, right? And he did well.
Cabo,
Cabo, yeah, right.
yeah,
I mean, Cabo could also be the draw. The draw was super weak, right? Like you're playing Kova in a final.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, um, but if you like, okay, say a neutral hard court, would you rather take one of those guys like to win one match, or would you rather have like Alex Muller or one of those kind of grinders?
I would use Munar instead of Muller just because Muller is like I feel like his Muller's like level a lot more variable.
Okay.
Um, but like it depends who they're playing, because like the upside of like it depends who they're playing. Like if they're playing a top 20 guy, then yeah, like you probably want one of those guys. If you're to top 50 guy, then I'd probably say Munar. So it depends on the opponent.
I feel like Munar's level can fluctuate a lot too. Like I think Muller and Munar are
I mean,
very
all these guys levels can, like that's the thing, right? All these guys levels can. It's why they're between 50 and
yeah.
100.
Now that one guy to win a match, who you would trust, if you add Cerundolo in that group, does it would you take him over those guys? Because
Yeah,
like
I would take Snoodle over all those guys.
Cerundolo,
Well, maybe not
Cerundolo's
Chapo on
pretty.
slow, but Cerullo's had some good runs on hard. Like he has some good runs, and then he had like all these guys are kind of like that, right? Like they're all gonna have like I think Cerullo was maybe a slight bit above. He's not that far above, but I think
Cerundolo's
he's maybe
pretty
like
damn
one tier
erratic
above.
too on a hard court. When his forehand isn't clicking, he has nothing. I mean, we saw that in the match against Kecmanovic. The match I
Sure,
called pretty well.
sure, but he still didn't he still win that or did he lose that?
He won in the third set breaker, but he
Yeah.
was up a break and, I mean, going to a third set breaker against Kecmanovic is nothing to be proud about at this point.
I don't think that's that bad. I don't think that's like I don't think
Yeah, but
Ketchmonovich is just
I'd
neutral.
weigh Kecmanovic below Sonego and Chapo right now, if you're power ranking them.
I agree, but not far to me.
All right, I just think my point is I think you could put Cerundolo in that bucket because I actually think he's pretty
He's
similar
one
to those
level above
guys.
that, but I hear you.
He's very erratic too. Very erratic. He's more erratic than people think he is.
Maybe. I mean,
It's
Ceruto
funny.
he finished this year 17 and 11 on hard.
And does he have any good wins? What's his best win?
Uh Demon,
Oh, in
Demon, Paul, Rude,
Miami.
Demon, Indian Wells, Paul, Rude in Miami.
Yeah, he was good. He was good at that time. I'll give you that.
And like I don't like all the guys we just mentioned, right? They're all good like at their times. And then they have times when they're not good. So like they're like he's in the same I push him to a level above, but he's the same type.
Okay. All right, that's fair. That's fair. All
I
right.
mean, look, when I say it's the same, like I think he's probably like I don't know, he's maybe like 53 or 54% to win against Sonego on like a neutral court. It's like not saying he's like a
Yeah.
lock to win that match. It's but
Do
I
you
think he's
power,
slightly
do you
better.
power rank him higher than Lerner at this point?
No.
Me neither. I power rank Lerner higher, and I think that's a good matchup for Lerner.
Yeah, I would agree. Okay.
Yeah. All right, let's do a quick break and then talk about World Tour Finals, the top eight guys. So, all
Yeah, cool.
right.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome back to the pod. So we're here to talk World Tour Finals. Only eight guys. Two groups of four players each. So nothing crazy. It's not going to be a 2 hour segment here, but we should definitely talk about it. Personally, I've done pretty well in this tournament betting in the past. I just feel like I have a better idea of these guys than any other guys on the tour. Um, so I feel like even though maybe the lines are sharper than most matches, I still feel like I can pick out some value occasionally. Um, I don't know. That's how I felt. Maybe last year was really good because I hit a lot of props with Sinner just killing people. Maybe that's I'm being
Yeah.
skewed. But I mean that could happen again. You know. So I guess let's start with the Bjorn Borg group. That's Sinner, Zverev, Shelton, and FAA. So Sinner is minus 550 to win the group. Zverev is plus 900. Shelton is 10 to 1, and FAA is 11 to 1. I mean, that's insane. That's Sinner like is 550 to win a group. But like, can you even
Minus
argue with
550 is
that?
pretty crazy. What?
Can you even argue with that though?
It's tough. The problem is like the biggest issue is that if Sinner like sometimes these groups end up going like 3-0, 2-1, 1-2, 0-3, right? Where like 3-0 wins the group, like where there's a guy that goes 3-0 and wins the group. The issue here is if Sinner loses, it's probably going to be more like random, just that he had a bad day rather than somebody like really being better than him, right? So I feel like a lot, and he also like will probably run up the score in matches when he like
Right.
that he wins. So like what I'm saying overall is like even if he loses one, I think he's still got a decent chance to win the group.
Exactly. Exactly. Right. Because he has the best chance of winning by margin than any of the other players.
Yeah,
Um, I mean, this is one of the faster events of the year, right?
it is.
Is Turin altitude?
Yep, there's a little out. I don't remember how much. You can look it up, but there's a little bit.
784 feet. So yeah. Um,
One very interesting stat I wanted to mention here. Um, I looked, and if you take out the day three or the third match, because again, with all the weird permutations and a lot of times alternates are in by that point, so it's a little bit different, a little bit
mhm.
strange. But if you just take if you just take the if you take the last 3 years, I was looking, and interestingly, only only eight of the 32 completed matches have gone to a third set.
Hmm.
So
Wow.
something interesting to keep in mind.
So you think
Like that's a really low number.
unders are a good look?
I was looking and like the unders, like the over unders seem to be kind of short though, is the problem. So like the average over under has been like in that like neutral-ish like 22.5 to like 23 range,
Yeah,
which like for a fast event, that's actually pretty low over under.
I know. It would scare me. Huh.
And I think over unders, there's been 13 overs and 18, no, 19 unders, 13 overs. So definitely a trend towards unders.
I don't know if that's a statistically significant sample though.
It's a very small sample. I mean, that's just like this tournament, right? Like how big of a sample are you going to get at this tournament,
Right.
right?
Still too
Like,
many matches. Yeah, exactly.
and it's also like, when you talk about this tournament, right? Like, it's a tournament where like it can be impacted by certain players, right? Like, I'm kind of not going out there on a limb and saying like unlike other 250s where I'd be like almost any other tournament, I'd be more willing to take a leap of faith on this. I'm much less willing here to take a leap of faith based on it because like there's like I think Sinner's been in it all 3 years. Pretty sure Djokovic has. So like there's some guys who have been in like a high percentage of these matches too that it could be a player thing, you know?
Yeah, I mean,
Sinner's not. Sinner was not in 2022. Djokovic has been in all three.
but Djokovic didn't play last year, I think.
I thought he did. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh, you're right. You're right.
He didn't play, yeah.
You're right. He did not play.
I I mean, I typically pick sides here. Um, I don't know. I mean, last year was just dominated by Sinner, right? I don't think he dropped a set. So I definitely won money with him, like betting him to win by margin. Um, but I remember like I thought Alcaraz was kind of a fade last year. Maybe not this year because he's going for number one. But I do, if we talk about the other group, the Alcaraz, Fritz, De Minaur, Musetti group, I'm betting Fritz at 6-1 to win that group. Um, I don't think Alcaraz should be a minus 400 favorite to win the group, given this has historically been his toughest surface, right? Indoor, quick indoor hard court. Um, didn't play well in Paris, lost to Nori there. Um, I mean, I think he matches up really well against Demon or Mazzetti, don't get me wrong, but like Fritz got him indoors in Laver Cup, right? I mean, not taking much stock into that, obviously. But I just think the discrepancy between minus 400 and plus 600 when Fritz likes these conditions way more than Alcaraz is too big. The problem with it is that Fritz doesn't match up as well against Demon or Mazzetti. That's the problem,
Right.
right?
I mean, what chance do you give Fritz of beating Alcaraz?
On this particular court, probably 20 to 25.
I actually was going to go more than 25 to 30. So,
Okay.
um,
But I think Mazzetti matches up pretty well with Fritz, but I think it's a tough spot for Mazzetti given that it's his first match. So I think that gives the edge to Fritz. Like if
and
Fritz
he'll play Tuesday, right?
he'll play Tuesday,
Monday.
Monday. Yeah, but still
So
that's a
only
tough
one off day.
that's a tough turnaround.
That's what I'm saying. Only one off day. That is a tough turnaround. I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, Monday. Yeah.
Um,
Like
yeah, I mean,
I'd probably be off of it if Fritz was playing Demon Orc first.
yeah, I don't know.
6-1 to win a group in conditions that he likes.
But we just said he's like, well, even in these conditions, he still is like, I mean, you think he's like 20 to 25% to beat Alcaraz. He probably has to beat Alcaraz if he's going to win the group because Alcaraz isn't going to lose to Demoner. Maybe Musetti could get him, but again, it's a tough turnaround. This tournament's going to be tough for Musetti. He put in such a push just to get in.
Yeah, but I think he's going to be fresher. Also, if Musetti loses the first match and he's going to play Demon Or in the second match, so he wouldn't play Alcaraz until the third match.
But if he's 0-2, which could happen, then he might not even be in it. Like, which actually might not be the worst thing for Fritz, to be honest. Like, I don't know. I have to think about it more. Like, I think if you're gonna play it, Manny, I don't think it's a bad like. I think it's the only playable futures, you know. But like, I I
Like
don't know how I feel
I'm not
about it.
taking Fritz at 20-1 to win the event because if he has to play, if he finishes first in a group and plays, I don't know, Shelton or Zverev, right? Who finished the second in their group, right? Then he has to play Sinner in the final. And as we say before, no is no, right?
Yeah,
I think you brought this up in our private chat. Like there hasn't been a tournament that Sinner or Alcaraz hasn't won where both of them entered,
yeah,
which is absurd. So, Sinner is minus 160 to win the event, Alcaraz is plus 180, and Zverev is 16 to 1. He's the next highest guy. Like it's ridiculous, but it's
right. So you've got, I mean, you literally have Sinner and Alcaraz taking up like 95% of
it's crazy.
of like the chance.
I mean, I think that if there's any value anywhere, it's probably Alcaraz at plus 180, right? Because if he plays Sinner in the final, you're definitely getting a worse price than that on Alcaraz to win just that match.
Yeah, yeah. The thing is, I feel like with that one, like you're better off because like we've seen this whole like I've seen this like short backswing video from Alcaraz. Like I kind of want to see one match to see like how Alcaraz looks. Like if he looks like good,
Hmm.
then I'd be a lot more enticed. Like remember the U.S. Open? He looked like a man on a mission the whole tournament.
Yeah, he did. He did.
And if he's in that mode, then I think he probably should be the favorite. But if he's not, then it's different.
I mean, there is serious motivation. I mean, they're competing for world number one, year-end world number one.
They are, although it's almost Alcaraz is 1,000 points ahead. Like technically, Sinner's world number one right now, but he's going to drop to 1,500 for Turin. So if you take the points out, they're both dropping for Turin. Alcaraz is 1,000 ahead. The max is 1,500. So if Alcaraz wins the group, if he goes 3-0 and wins the group, he clinches world number one. I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference, but I don't think it's like the world number one thing. Like, yes, it's a storyline, but it's not like Alcaraz is very, very, very much in the
So I
driver's
think if
seat.
Alcaraz only wins two matches, right, and Sinner wins the event and wins all five, then Sinner would be number one, right?
Yes, yes,
So if Sinner, see what I'm hoping happens just from a storyline perspective is that Sinner wins his group and then
and Alcaraz comes
Alcaraz
second. They play, yeah,
second and they play, yeah. Because that match would be essentially for world number one, except well, Sinner would have to win the final.
yeah,
But he will if it's it wouldn't be Alcaraz in the final. So
yeah,
that would be cool if that happens. So then that means I would most likely cash my futures too, because most likely Fritz would win the group then. But
yeah.
yeah. All right, so I guess let's look at individual matches. So um Alcaraz is a 4-game favorite against Demonor tomorrow, over under of 22. Minus 450 versus plus 350 for Demon. I actually think that's pretty short. That's pretty short for Alcaraz. Like I would expect Alcaraz to be more in the minus 600 range. I'm on the minus four.
Yeah, we talked about this before. I very well might take the Alcaraz 2-0 or the -4. I think I hear you. Like backdoor covers are always in play with Demon. Like with this match specifically. But yeah, I think definitely I like something like if I'm gonna play this, it's gonna be something in the Alcaraz in the pro Alcaraz realm.
There's been some steam on the Alcaraz side because when we talked about it earlier, Alcaraz 2-0 was minus 125. Now it's minus 135.
Okay.
But I don't, the four, it doesn't seem like a lot because I feel like if Alcaraz wins this 2-0, one of the sets is going to be lopsided.
You would think.
Yeah, and it's an unjuiced four. It's a minus 105.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, Alcaraz to win in under 21 and a half games is plus 150. I'm also on the Alcaraz to win every set 6-3 or 6-4 at plus 750. I think that that's a decent look.
I think it's decent.
So, yeah. Is there a set one under 8.5 or something like that?
There
Curious.
should be.
They have under 9.5 set one at plus 105. Yeah, I don't really want to do that because like didn't Alcaraz lose to Rude in his first match last year?
He did. He got beat 2-0.
Yeah. So maybe the under 22 is a decent look. I mean, you mentioned that.
Yeah, and I would consider that in the pro Alcaraz realm, right? Like I think it's just it's to me it's probably a pick your favorite. I haven't this is not official yet, but I think that'd be the direction I'd be looking at.
Okay. And then Zverev Shelton tomorrow. Zverev is a 1.5 game favorite, minus 155 on the money line. Shelton is plus 130. The over-under is high, 25.5. Um, I'm pretty heavily on Zverev minus 1.5 games here. I don't think Shelton is at the same level he was like during Toronto since the US Open. Did have a good decent Paris, but like I don't think he's truly back. Who did he lose to there? Sinner.
Center.
Yeah.
The
Three.
bigger issue I have in this is I think this is just a terrible matchup for Shelton.
Yeah. I tend to agree.
Like that will likely end up being a GBM play. Center minus the game and a half. Or Zverev minus the game and a half. Sorry, because that yeah, that feels like a play.
Yeah, I think Shelton's serve is actually the least potent against Zverev, right? Just because he has such a massive slot on that backhand wing.
Well, I think it's the whole game. Like, I mean, I think it's literally the entire game. Like, Zverev destroys lefties because he got the backhand.
Yep.
Um, Shelton Shelton doesn't do the things that you like a play like Shelton's not going to make him play a very tactical match most likely. He's not going to much like and Zverev's a great athlete. Zverev's he's got great strokes. Like yeah,
Yeah.
I like Zverev here.
Yep. Shelton doesn't have the drop shot or the touch to force Zverev in, right?
Yeah,
Where he's uncomfortable. So, yeah. All right. I mean, that's great. If we have a GBM play, it's awesome. Uh,
yeah.
then tomorrow or Monday, Musetti and Fritz. Fritz is a 3 game favorite. I might actually be on that, to be honest. It's an unjuiced 3 with a tough turnaround for Musetti on a court that favors Fritz. I'm probably going to be there. That seems good on first glance. Maybe the under 22 is a decent play there, like given the trends.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not like starving to play it, but I think Fritz minus three feels like the side I'd rather be on.
Mhm.
But it's only because I'm more about Musetti. Like, yeah, I'll probably stay away. I feel like that's actually a pretty right line. Like, Musetti's serve has gotten a lot better. It's a fast court. He might be able to string enough holds together to cover the three.
Yeah,
He's got a huge advantage in rallies. What?
Fritz struggles winning by margin.
And Musetti's a huge advantage in rallies there
Yeah, that's true.
because he can move. If he moves Fritz around, Fritz is in trouble.
Yeah.
I'm probably that feels like a stay away to me.
And then center FAA, I mean, center is minus 1400. FAA is plus 775. There's no
What's the
even,
spread?
they don't even,
Five again?
they don't even have that up, but it's probably going to be 5.
Yeah, I mean,
But if you watch the Paris match, like okay, so Paris was a slower court this year than this, right?
yeah,
So does that favor FAA or favor Sinner? The fact that it's a
I
slower,
think center. I think center.
I probably agree.
Just because it's like faster, not necessarily like from a tennis perspective, But just because a faster court creates more variance, and I think FAA needs like FAA's only hope here is variance.
Yeah, I mean the score line was close, but like center did outplay FA in nearly every facet.
Yeah.
So yeah. Um,
Although Center only won 31.5% of return points in that match, and FAA did win 80% of his first serve points.
but his return conversion rate wasn't very good, right? Or
FAA's?
no, center's breakpoint conversion.
Yeah, he was 1 out of 6.
And
And
how many
FAA
break?
didn't force a single break point.
Yeah, I mean that to me says more than the other stats.
And FAA only won 16% of return points and only won 9% of first serve points, return points.
Jeez.
So yeah, I mean, he was essentially.
Nose
I
of
mean,
the
but that's why, like on a fast court, I guess the question is, was the spread? The two questions are, I'll have to see and see. I'll have to look at Piranha stats and see who serves first. And on the spread, if you can get like an unjuiced 5 on FAA with FAA serving
yeah,
first, or an unjuiced 4.5 with FAA serving first,
that's probably
that
the
might be the play. You just hope for one break each set or less.
yeah, I agree. That's probably the angle. Yeah, there's no game spread up on Bovada yet, so
Yeah.
we'll see. We still have some time, but all right, should be a fun week of tennis. Only 2 more weeks really, this week and next at the Davis Cup.
Davis Cup. Yeah.
So we'll have some
Yep.
plays there, and then time to get ready for 2026.
Yep.
So, all right. Well, nice potting. It's been a while. Thanks for all the support
Yeah.
out there. It's the engagement has been great. You know,
Mm.
we're we're quite busy, but it's been quite a ride. I can't believe
Yep.
how great it's been. SharpCircle is awesome. The additions that they're making to that site are fantastic. Uh,
Mm.
so I think they're trying to add, like where you could see our bet slips and like show how they verify our picks. They're really enforcing that transparency angle. So it's great.
Which is great. Yeah.
It's so yep. And then also next year we're gonna have like stats from like January to November, right?
Yeah, which will be great. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's gonna be great. So, all right, everyone, have a good night. Thanks again.
Yep. All right. Bye, everyone.